Beloved brothers and sisters, just welcoming you. I don't have the same pizzazz as I normally have. Welcoming you into this transmission and a direct channel that's being guided forth in relation to the remembrance of your soul's mission, who you are, why you're here, and the reasoning that it's taken time for you to get to this point of recognition and realization. So I am Geeia Ariati. I am of sound heart and sound mind. I am the oracle for the 144. I have many roles. That is just one. My service is of God Source Creator and the Law of One. And I'm here as a representative of the Council of One. And what is being called forth in this moment is to speak into remembering, and to speak into the remembering of what you have come to know about yourself, who you are, and why you're here, and why it is important that you either haven't remembered before this point, or you're about to awaken and remember all of those aspects of who you are in this moment. I'm not going to speak from my human expression. I am just too fatigued to put any words together. And my body, like everyone's, is going through massive transformation in preparation for what's to come, and to be that strong pillar and the integration and solidification of what's necessary. And so if you are desiring to know how can you support the earth in the shifts that are coming, it is what do I need to ground, solidify, and anchor into my being. Because what is being called forth in service, in healing, in guided abilities requires a stable nervous system, a strong sense of recognition of who oneself is, and the awareness of the innate ability you have to be your light. And some of you may be called into the surface like myself, where you will be moved through different parts of the land and be in service of different frequencies in healing. And if we're looking at, and I will speak to this, if you haven't seen the prophetic vision, I understand now why the council wanted us to share it in such a raw way, because the purging that we were moving through, the people that sit and choose to witness that will go through the same purging that we did, and also be able to gift a further acknowledgement, awareness, and perspective, and to activate further visionary expressions of what is possible for us all to move forward. And so we are effectively, we were in that transmission together, and you are able to share the confirmations of, yes, I felt that in my body, or I saw this vision, or I unlocked this part of me, and it's a part of the remembrance process. And so although it was far from how I like to facilitate, I am grateful for that awareness that we are walking this path hand in hand. And it has taken much of those experiences over and over in all realms, in all incarnations, and through different experiences to get to this point where I can speak most of the time from a place where I am transcended beyond duality and can express without the shadow self interrupting those messages. But what we are moving into is challenging. It is not my desired human, or probably any part of my being's creation, but it is what we're creating, and I came here in service. And the service that I'm here for, I am aware and have asked over and over, and this is why I'm speaking to it, is there another way? Can we change the timeline? And I have asked so many times, what else is possible? What can shift? Do people have to die? All of these things have been, I'm not focusing on this. This is not my desired focus. I would much rather live fluffy in the clouds and dancing around. This is my service. This is what I have been asked to do. I have been asked to be the voice for those that are afraid. I have been asked to be the speaker of the things that often is experienced in someone's private spaces, and to express and to be the face the face of the 144 in some realm, especially to my soul group, and to be that individual in which I am deeply honored to be here and speak from this place. So in the awareness that in direct channels I have absolutely no idea what's going to be coming through, and even when I channel and speak in this way, I don't know until it's being spoken in the formulation. It's just not as high in vibration. But if you haven't received any of these transmissions before, I think I bypassed something. Yeah, I did. The answer that continues to come through in relation to can we change this is it's actually no. And I don't get very many no's because it's always possibility. There's always change. It's no. This is a natural part of a cycle of evolution of the earth, and evolution is happening and will happen. How that looks and the amount of devastation to the human psyche, to the consciousness, and to the land can look different, but it will happen. And what the result of that is pending our choice, pending our remembrance, pending us lining up to the highest timelines, to our soul's love, and being in true reality of how we move through this as individuals. Because what we're doing for our own body, our body is a reflection of the earth, will shift and change things. So focusing on your stability, focusing on your peace, focusing on your inner being will allow for that remembrance to shift with the earth. So just taking some time to close the eyes down and receive and drop into this channeled space with me, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Placing the intention that I speak from the highest place of truth that is transcribed through human word, that is assistance to the bringers of change, the 144, and to any other being that is choosing the evolution of the planet in the highest good of all creation. That I speak clearly and concisely, and from a place without infiltration and full protection of my energy field and all beings that are in this space, that there is a protective expression of consciousness placed over these individuals so they too can receive what is here for them in clarity and safety. The time has come in which you are navigating through the soul blueprints within your consciousness that hold this very juncture point in your reality, within your consciousness. Each and every one of you that are taking the time to witness this are aware that you are incarnated on the earth for a very specific purpose, and you have an important role in the evolution and the change that is required for the human race. What has come to the forefront is the recognition that many have been seeking their soul's trajectory, their purpose, their recognition of who they be for many years, doing the seeking, the searching, and the what you would consider healing work to remember and access this point of your spirit essence in form. However, for many of you, you have been left in circles of vague interpretations of what your role is on the planet, and your creations have danced in many realms of self-realization. This experimental learning has been accessing you into a higher state of recognition, and yet you are realizing only now that there was a reasoning as to why things didn't work, certain creations didn't unfold, or why there's been challenge in the path that you have known as to why you be here. The reason for this is that you have been being prepared energetically, mentally, and from a place of that your human cognitive mind just simply couldn't accept the truth of the reality that is being created. If you were told the level of service and the expression of that, of the highly evolved being that you are in totality as to why you are here, you would either mentally be unstable, moving through levels of psychosis from the multiple templates of splitting within your mind's consciousness, or you would reject and completely separate from that of what you have been guiding yourself into remembering. This is how the human psyche and the identity works. You will either cause yourself to attach or to avoid. And whilst you all remain with identity and ego construct, it is important to be aware as to why you've remembered what you have and why you have forgotten and sat in a place of amnesia. This is a part of the journey that you as an individual have chosen. You have placed these juncture points within your own timelines and in your own soul's blueprint, or what you could consider your book of records. Your book of records holds information that has the personality, the archetype, the contracts, the challenges, the soul group members, the relationships, and the different points of opportunity for remembering and evolving, pending what you are experiencing at each point in time. These contracts can be played out, or they can be witnessed and transmuted before actually meeting that point in your trajectory. Everyone is at a different way of moving through this experience, as it is a place of free will. As you live in an experience of free will, you have different timeline opportunities that are written in your book of records. Some may refer to this as the Akashic records or the halls of Amenti. However, this is not that, and these record libraries are all different with different stores of information, and it is important to start to become aware of what sources of information you are connecting into. These connection points provide different information. Geeia has access to the Alexander Library, of which some of you may have awareness of, which sits no longer in the physical realm, but in the multidimensional. It's a record of the creation space of Earth. And there are different libraries with different stores of information so that they can be accessed at a time where they will not be disrupted, mutated, or manipulated. The access points are only available when you evolve to a certain point of time to receive the information without distorting it. It has been designed in this way in the divine plan for a very specific reason, so that you are able to access your individual blueprint or your book of records of your soul, so that you cannot distort your own plan, so that you cannot manipulate, reject, or control your divine trajectory. Although you may try, there are specific points of writings and clauses and contracts that you have created that have made it impossible for you to step too far off of your soul's purpose. This has been done over years of practice on this years of practice in this reality of trial and error in matter and remembering. This awareness of how the human being, when they transition, gives their life review and the information on Judgment Day to assist in the understanding and the understanding of how the earth works. If you can understand how this reality works, you can write your contract knowing all of the clauses, all of the polarization, and all of the manipulation that takes place, as well as using the universal laws to dominate your reality. Although you may be at a point in time where you feel as though you are not dominating your reality, you have created a plan that will lead you on the path to exactly what your role is. This may look to the human lens as being off path, but has your off path creation and the different things that you've planned on that timeline to pull you back on path provide exactly the right awareness and lessons for the greater whole. There are multiple timelines in your soul's blueprint, as there are multiple timelines for the earth. As you move through remembering what timelines are there for you will pend your human experience. If you're choosing a lower timeline trajectory, you will experience more separation, pain, suffering, and learning to remember source through the contrast of your reality. If you choose from your highest timeline, you will be guided through intuition, through source guidance, and through the inner expression of your being coming through you rather than you dictating it. This is the path of more ease and grace, and yet the experience that you will have here in this physical reality, being that of a separateness, is not graceful. You will have moments of pure bliss, and you will have moments of pure pain. Even in a state of full connection with Source in physical form, you will experience all expressions until you are able to be at peace with it all in that level of attained enlightenment. Not all of you have chosen this, and it would be a distortion of reality and the divine plan to say that each and every one of you is coming to a point of Christos. There are some, and there are some that are here to meet a specific trajectory of their evolution, and we all play a part and a role to each other in the divinity of what's to unfold. Accessing through your remembrance now is going to become far greater and easier for your human consciousness, as your ego can no longer push against the stories that have been created to keep you protected from the information that is about to unfold. As a collective whole of the bringers of change, or the 144 DNA strand and beyond, they are accessing collectively their soul's blueprint. This is the remembrance. When you come into remembrance, you know who you are and why you're here, and that can take many years to embody. However, the remembering is what will allow for you to work with your identity and your ego and accept exactly what is fated for this reality and has been pre-planned in the awareness of many, many, many possible outcomes based on history and data of the previous 42,000 year cycles. As the data has been collected and been recorded in multiple libraries, there is an awareness of all possible trajectories in relation to previous creation spaces, and the beings that have journeyed through different time-space continuum have an awareness of reality, creation, and energy to know the possible signatures and what will unfold. This basically means that all the timelines that are predicted have been predicted well before this point in time, and that you are lining up to see these possible trajectories and which ones have been chosen. Individual beings like Geeia have a mass capacity to receive an information and to pre-plan the possibilities of where one is going. She is only just accessing her ability to its fullest capacity, that it is when we speak to things being fated that this information of these timelines is known. When you understand creation, energy, frequency, vibration, there is no new creations. When you have an awareness of this energy means this, and this signature means that, when you have an accompanied combination of these frequencies, you can see the story and the possible creation of what that is based on energy signatures. So what you are experiencing now is the playing out of the timeline that was chosen by the collective whole. The timeline that is solid within the reality that has a split of consciousness in a 5D and a 2D reality. A polarizing expression on Earth where you will witness quite drastic shifts between light and dark in physical matter. This should not be shocking to any of you that have been moving through these realms in the awareness of what is seen in the vortex of consciousness eventually has to be brought through in the physical matter of in the physical matter of frequency manifestation into actualization. So those that have been on this journey, what you have experienced through the realms of the quantum field will start to become physically here in the physical incarnation. And it is interesting as we are going to reference a movie that you or many have seen in relation to a subject matter that is showing you exactly the level of sci-fi reality that can and will play out in the physicality. You may be confused by these activations of your Hollywood movie presentations, but they are all showing you exactly what is possible in the coming times. All movies are created on timeline junctures forward and previous past incarnations, that they are activating your memory and your cells into where you could possibly be guided or where you have been. The movie that is coming to the forefront to look at in a way of looking at dualistic expressions and the extreme polarization is that of which is called the Rebel Moon, in the contrast of religion, the contrast of energy, and the abilities of your multidimensional expression when embodied in physical reality. These are windows to your remembering, and your remembering is accelerating because as a whole you have all activated your soul's energy blueprint. This holds your contracts. This is where, if you are in relation to being in a divine relationship, you will start to clear and purify the path to merging with that. This is where the manifestation of what you've always known on some level or another is going to be solidified in your experience. This is where the insight becomes clear and you start to have a stronger recognition of proof in your inner experience than the construct of mind can hold. This is where you are able to recognize ego for ego, love ego for ego, and start to dismantle your ego because your remembrance is stronger than that of the distortion of mind. Allowing your body to take a few deep breaths to fully receive the word, the frequency, and the recalibration of your neural pathways, to allow for your chakra systems to realign, recalibrate, and for your energy blueprint to activate and go into the full remembrance of the multidimensionality of your own book of records. For your neural pathways to release any of the additional implanted information, and any of the subtracted information, so that you can move into your evolved neural pathway patterning that holds this information to read and to come forth in your vision, your experience, and your recognition with ease, grace, and clarity. That any resistance to your path, your purpose, and who you be is cleansed, cleared, and purified. That you cleanse, clear, and purify the templates of inversion of your soul's energy blueprint by deactivating, dismantling, and dissolving those in through the violet flame. That we notice and identify any implanted thought forms, devices, and any entities that have been feeding off the shadow aspects of not remembering in totality your soul's energy blueprint in its evolved expression for this point of time of the human race. And that you reclaim in totality your cellular memory of your soul's energy blueprint, so that you are able to shift into the soul's purpose and plan for your incarnation as you move through the assistance of the human race, moving into their new evolution. Taking 3 deep breaths into your heart to solidify this into your being. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I love you, I love you, I love you. If you resonated to this message and you feel that there are some star seeds, bringers of change, 144, or any other label that would resonate to any of the messages that I share, please tag, share, and assist in these messages being seen by those that are feeling alone, that are feeling unseen, that are needing to be witnessed through these expressions, and to not feel so crazy in the world that is delusional. If you want to support my mission, please donate. I will re-edit the message with the key information, and I will be placing this on YouTube also. I love you, I love you, I love you. Maya kariata and Dianaya Atatakai. Muosho Tokori at the Kayandini.